Welcome to the
All
Metal
right.
Institute of Thrashology. This is
Awesome.
Freitanas. Am I close?
Yeah, you can say, sorry, you can say Freitanas. Sorry. Yeah.
Freightanage.
Yeah.
Okay,
I was just connecting my cable.
that's okay. This is Freitanas from
Yes.
Aoidos
Yes.
in their new album Oizys.
I swear we weren't trying to make like life fucking hard for Americans while naming this shit. It wasn't on purpose, but
Well, and this is what I always tell the American bands. American bands name themselves something crazy too. Like this one band named from a local band in Pittsburgh calls themselves Tiwanaku, and they're from.
okay.
They actually just did a Tiwanaku is like a ancient Mayan city, and they went and visited it and did a whole photo shoot.
Okay.
But it would be really nice if you guys could like name songs like you guys have songs like Fire. It's just one word. It's so easy to say. It works.
Yeah. If you check out most of our songs are like trauma, fire,
Yeah.
throw, you know, Oizys, okay, it's hard, but just one song. We have the last one, it's the biggest one. It's all wherever always. But
Yeah,
we
yeah.
call it Awa as
But
well.
still,
You
even
know.
like your earlier singles like Black Swan,
Yeah.
like great stuff. And then after we talked yesterday, I went back and I did more research. I'm really curious as to was it the I saw like you said a lot of the songs were from 2020 up until now.
Yeah.
Was the pandemic slowing you guys down a little bit?
A bit as well. Yeah, we started the band, the project itself. It wasn't a band at the beginning, at the end of 2019. So it's like we
Okay.
start making the ball roll, and then shit, pandemic hits, and then. But actually, for our bass player, he only joined after the pan. Was it after? Or basically, it was in the moment. It's not after because we were in a bar that we hang most of the time,
Yeah.
and that basically we even say it in the description and our bio and all. The band started in Taberna 58, a tavern here in Coimbra. It's
Okay.
the place where people who want to hear rock and roll and metal go. And so I already knew him, and I asked him to join me and the project while we were out drinking. So it was before the pandemic. So probably, I don't know, maybe he joined in 19 as well, 2019, I guess. But yeah, then pandemic struck. I was stuck at home, and at the time those videos are now private, but I did in the Aoidos channel already existed, and I did like Lord of the Rings covers and shit like that, and Doom
Yeah.
Eternal cover and all. And just to pass the time, and at the same time, I was like playing along. For example, the title track of our album, Oizys,
Yeah.
was called Quarantine One because it was the first thing I wrote in quarantine. And it was in the first week. So yeah, songs are pretty pretty old.
But the awesome part is like you had a lot of time to work out the kinks and it shows on this album. I mean, this is a really, really good album, especially for a debut, you know?
Thank
And
you.
I think it's nice because like, a lot of bands they rush to get their debut, like let's rush, get our material out, and then start working on our second album. With you guys,
Yeah.
it seems like you had the time and it really shows in this album. This is a dynamic listen. And especially like I said yesterday, like I'm still blown away by the piano. If you could tell the story again about your sister, I believe.
From the sister is the painter, the one who painted the cover.
Okay, I thought she was the one too who brought in the
No, no,
piano.
no, no, no. The piano is a friend of ours that wants to be kept anonymous. So that's why
Okay,
we call her another fucking difficult name, even for us because it's German. It's Erlkönig, which
okay,
means the Elf King. It's based on a piece by Schubert, if I'm not mistaken, which tells the story of a father and a child, and they are going through the forest in a chariot or on horseback. I think it's on horseback. I don't remember quite well, But basically, they are running, and the kid is saying, "Father, the Elf King is here. He's trying to take me. He's going to kill me." And the father is like, "No, it's just the wind." And it goes on, and he says, "It's the wind, or it's just the leaves." And in the end, the child dies. It's like shit. The Elf King was really dead, and she inspired herself in that for the name. And we created this sort of persona, this out of nature persona called Arconic, that it's like a spirit that invades our rehearsal space
Yeah.
and joins us and comes up with these crazy, crazy melodies and classically inspired. She almost does like complete how do I say? She not mentions, but she basically almost like direct transcription. She like takes a part of Rachmaninoff and she jams it in our song. No, it's this, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
it works
But hey,
somehow, and
if
it's
you can
awesome.
squeeze Rachmaninoff in your song, I mean, it's not like he's a slouch, you know?
Yeah, yeah. She
Yeah.
plays like crazy. She's the best musician in the whole band, and by far. I'm not that. I shred a bit, but like for fun. I'm not a really shredder type of guitarist. I love the riff. For me, the riff is the
Yeah.
thing. I like to spice some leads and some solos up in there, but the riff it's a thing. It's a building block, and yeah,
Heck
we worked a lot on these songs. For example, Black Swan went through crazy project. Like at first it was one song, then I shelved it all. I took one of the riffs and then I put it in Black Swan, and then I created all the rest. And now the album version doesn't even have that riff. That if you go here to the single, the tung taka tung, this place that I met, that I'm like singing that part. In the album, it's a different riff because
Okay.
it wasn't connecting as well with the audience. It's our biggest song live. People are It's out, like it's been in year, almost 2 years out, so people start to know it and they chant it like the Black Swan. It's
Yeah.
really anthemic as well. And I noticed that on that riff, that it was supposed to be like the thrashy kind of riff part of the song, so people would march and all people would like, so I went, okay, let's go. And I took it and I made it like thrashier than ever. So it's like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
And we've tested it already live and it works much better. People now understand. Okay, now it's the time to fight. Okay,
Yeah.
message received.
Yeah. But I tell you what, it starts off like the album starts off, and I told you yesterday with Thrall, and it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
man, it's just crunch. It just starts off with such dirty, crunchy guitar, and you're
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
for me, it's like you could just give me that like 30 seconds of guitar for a whole album, and I'd love it. I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I like you. I like the riff, you know?
Yeah, and that song Thrall was like the first idea for it was I wanted to be inspired and to make almost like a tribute to the classic death metal songs, like Morbid Angel and all that. And that's why it's so rough and so,
Yeah.
edgy. It's like it's dirty as hell. And I wanted the band the whole song to be like that. And then it goes into a little groovier like that is more satiric and inspired. So it's like interwoven and all the inspirations and the bands that we listen to all mixed together. So, but yeah, it was like I want to do like the dirtiest riff, death metal riff I can come up with, and
That's
I
why
did
I like it, you
it.
know?
And it's a
But
it's a great album opener. I think that as well.
so when you guys write, you're the mostly the rhythm guitar, or do you guys trade on leads, or
We trade for this album since it's been so long since the most of the songs have been written. Been mostly written by me. This album, I basically wrote almost everything off of it, except for example the solo from the piano parts. Obviously, it wasn't
right?
me. The bass lines sometimes are different as well because our bassist doesn't like to learn stuff, so he just improvises.
Yeah.
And well, so
Sure.
well done to him because it's always better than what I come up with. Don't tell him that. You have to cut that out.
We'll have
because
to we'll have to hide this.
we have to hide this, or you won't shut up about it. The drummer as well, crazy. He started drumming 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I mean, and he's the oldest of all of us. He's like 42, 43.
Okay.
He has the most energy. He's the most fit of all of us. You know, it's like he could carry us all in his arms, and I'm fucking heavy. But yeah, on this album, I've written most of it. Some solos, some leads, and basically all the songs have been modified because at first it was like at some point this band was like a solo project because of all the pandemic. Our original drummer left, and we were like, eh. We started working, for example, Fire, and there are still some parts, some drumming parts in the album that are left over from that. We started working with an English drummer, a session drummer, via online. I'd send him the the songs, and he would play his parts. Like I would write something in Easy Drummer or something, and he'll play it, and we'd pay him session drummer playing.
Yeah.
And our idea was like, yeah, at that point it was just me and the bassist, Ekid, and we were like, yeah, let's just release this at some point. But then Pedro joined, Ivo joined, and we started working the songs around. And it was good because, for example, some bands like Metallica, for example, in the old ways, the old days, you would like tour a lot and make a lot of gigs before releasing your debut because otherwise you wouldn't be able to record or anything because the labels wouldn't know you or you wouldn't have the nowadays with all the production that you can do at home like I do myself. This is my home.
Yeah.
Yesterday I wasn't at home. I was at my work, but now I am at home.
Okay.
Um, and now you can just produce songs and release them and then play. But since the songs were already existed when we started playing, but then in 1 year we were able to do 22 gigs.
Okay.
So we worked the songs better because it wasn't just me. It was like Ivo in the guitar was like, what if I did? And most of the times he wouldn't even tell. We were playing, and then he would do like an harmony. You know, we would be playing like a lead, and I originally wrote it like two guitars playing the same, and then he would do some harmonies like death style, and like those
Yeah.
crazy fifths and shit, and I would be like, dude, that sounded awesome. Yeah, just something I tried and I thought of in at home, and I was like, dude, you do it, do
Yeah.
whatever you want. I think that songs are elevated when more people come to it. And if we, for example, I love Chuck Schuldiner, but he was like, it's me, I do this,
Yeah.
you're all just my band. Not that aggressively, I think, but he did everything. I love doing it, but not because I think that I have a vision and that's the vision. It's because I love writing. Writing is the thing that comes easier to me. So I'd be right, like going to the bedroom. My girlfriend would be, oh, off to sleep. It's like midnight, and then I'm about to enter the bedroom, and then a riff starts playing in my head. I'm like, I'll be right back, and I head to the studio, and then it's 4 a.m. and I have a song. It
Yeah.
happens a lot.
Hey, it works. Whatever works, right?
But it's awesome because the songs are much, much, much better now. Pedro in the drums is a great progressive rock guy and grunge guy. So it's the good thing because if I had a truly death metal drummer who's used to playing death metal or black metal or such, we wouldn't have that much richness. And for example, in the song "The Wheels" from the album,
Okay.
the drums are mostly from the session drummer, the English guy, Chris Barber. Great drummer as well. I don't remember his band, but Chris Barber on Instagram. Uh,
I'll look them
Chris Barber,
up.
go look him up. Um, but basically, um, even in live, and he has that thing. It says, "I'm not going to play everything exactly as I recorded or it's recorded." And I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
we have the policy that if you want to hear the album, you hear the album. If you want to hear us play live, okay, but we're not going to play it like it's in the album. Maybe I don't know, start doing a lead at the end of a song or at the beginning that I want, and that connection with the moment you're doing. You're not just coldly reproducing something you wrote like eons ago. You're playing something and connecting with it and with the people watching. So playing live is a different beast for me. And it's good because I was able to play not like too much, 22 gigs is not in a career is not a lot, but for a young band like ourselves, I think it's good because it put everything much more in perspective. And I was able to see, okay, this works out. Like I told you on Black Swan, some things you play, okay, it's cool, but maybe it doesn't connect as well, or it interrupts the flow of the song and all that. And having taking the time to work the songs out, especially live, I think that's what made this album so mature in
Now,
that
like
regard.
when you work it out live like that, was there moments or parts that you might have played and you were like in your head, you were like, "Hey, this is a great riff," or "This sounds
Yeah, yeah,
phenomenal," and then you look and you're like, "Ah, the fans aren't connecting with it," so then you
yeah, yeah, yeah.
compose it too.
And I changed it. Actually, in one gig, it was our fourth gig. In the same song, "The Wheels," there's a part that I play like a little clean part, and I forgot in the middle of the stage. I was like, "How do you play this?" And I started looking at each other because the song stops and I start, and everyone was like, "What the fuck you doing?" And I wrote a new riff.
Right
It's
there.
there now, and I
Yeah.
we have both now. I went home. Shit, this shit is much more amazing than the one I had before. So now we have the one I had do, and then followed by the one instead of being like two times the same thing. Half of it is the original, and then you have that and it like drove the song much more harder and faster. And so that's it. I think that when you think of a song and you write it, it's cool because you want to project it, like transfer it from your head to for example the Reaper. That's what I use, and then show it to everyone. But you have to distance yourself and understand that you can't get attached to it because sometimes you're detracting from the results, you know.
Yeah.
And if you, for example, I have a friend that told me that Trauma is like it's their favorite song live. And I thought that, dude, I think Trauma doesn't really work live. But he loved it because Trauma induces the black metal enjoyer state, you know? They stay like this. And you're like, they're not liking it, but they are, shit, this song is awesome. They're like this. And in the end, dude, that song was awesome, yo. Yeah, you didn't tell me that where I was playing because in the Wheels or Black Swan, everyone is like, hey, partying and moshing and shouting, and then Trauma is like, so I'm
Yeah.
like, maybe this song doesn't work as well, but apparently it does. So what the hell do I know?
Yeah. It sounds great, man. The whole
Thank you.
and I think that's the like because like I was thinking last night after I talked to you guys, like Eklund said,
Ekid, Ekid.
Ekid, he said that one of his major influences was Eminem, and like that's obviously not a black metal or death metal band.
No, at
So
all.
I was thinking about it, and I had a friend I used to hang out with who was he was African American, but he was a gangbanger and like listened to gangster rap, but he loved when he got in my car, I had amps and subwoofers in my car, and he loved listening to Metallica, "Ride the Lightning," because he said the
Okay.
bass on "Ride the Lightning" was so strong that
Yeah,
it drew him in. And so I started thinking, I was like, man, that's really cool because Eminem has some catchy beats too, and like
indeed.
he does some real good sampling. I listen to a lot of rap too, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I grew up on hip hop and punk, but it made me think that like when he said that, and I was like, oh, that's one element. And then your friend told you about she's going to bring classical and bring all the classical fans. And I started thinking, like, Beethoven's metal as fuck, you know? He's a
True.
deaf he's a deaf guy who went deaf because his father beat the fuck out of his ears and like all his music's dark and heavy.
Yeah.
So I sat down after I hung up with you last night, I was editing videos for trauma I put out this morning,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
my
yeah.
my kids came home from their my one did ballet last night, my other had her private piano lessons. So she came home. I'm working on guitar. I suck, but I'm working on Master of Puppets, you know? So I'm playing Master of Puppets. I'm listening to Iron Maiden because I'm going to their show tonight. And
Awesome.
my kids started playing Tomorrow, the sun will come out tomorrow on the piano. And I was like, man, this really works. Like Metallica, Iron Maiden, and the sun will come out tomorrow is like a banger of a metal song. So like
See?
it all like after I talked to you yesterday, like it all coalesced, and I was like, oh shit, man, this works. So when I was re-listening to your album again, and especially from the surface greats today, because I'm working on writing a script for that,
Yeah.
um, I was like, man, this is fucking really good. Like I thought it was good yesterday and solid, but like the more I like really sat down and listened to it, I was like, this is fucking really well written. And it's
Awesome.
each part, like the bass, he did his writing so well. And like it's all like you said, different styles, progressive drumming, black metal guitars. It works so well and it's so diverse. I think it's going to bring a lot of different people to metal, which I think is great.
Yeah, I hope so. That's the thing. I don't think that restricting yourself too much, it could be good for inspiration because when you find obstacles, you have to find ways to overcome them. So restrictions can be good sometimes, but you know that state of mind of I need everything to be metal and anything else from metal is sucks and all that. They are all posers. I think it just detracts from the fact that art is art, and if you find value in hip hop in Eminem, for example. I grew up on Eminem as well a
Yeah.
lot. So all his lyrics, I love lyrics. Lyrics are a great part of our work. That's why I try to have my voice be a little intelligible. Sometimes it can go wild, but I try to be as intelligible like as I can because lyrics are a great part of it. And for example, uh, good hip hop as amazing lyricists. You know, like the way they and when you go to, I watched a lot of. There was a time I watched a lot of battles. You know, those impromptu battles,
Yeah.
rap battles, and all. And I think that you can find value in everything, and you can find inspiration in everything, and that's why I think this record works because, although sometimes it's not direct, but an Eminem fan probably won't be a fan of us,
It might.
but who knows? But the thing is, it's there, and the approach to it, not being of being unapologetic and trying to say your piece, and I think that's the most that I gather from him, for example, of your art is your art, and you're here and you're trying to make it because you want to make it,
Yeah.
and that's why we united ourselves, all of us together. Man, our drummer was playing guitars live when I was 2 years old. You know, like we're 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 from different generations and all that, but we connected at a level so deep. So you know that when we play together, things work out. If
Yeah.
I fail, we can always, that in all our gigs, even in the first or second one, there were mistakes, but there was never like the oh shit, what we did now. We carried on. And people said, oh, we didn't understand it. Oh, you had a mistake. I didn't notice because that's the thing that we find value in things the same way. Even for example, Pedro doesn't listen to black metal, listens more to grunge, but he can find the value in what we do. And the most important thing is the emotion behind it and the value that we find in it. And that's the thing
Sure.
that united us.
Do you guys now, because it seems on the album you guys are tight. So do you guys like get together often? Or
Yeah, yeah. We rehearse at least once a week.
okay,
So we have to, and we practice at home as well. Unfortunately, that's why a kid is not right now because they are rehearsing right now. But I live like 50 kilometers from Coimbra, and
okay,
my car is in need of repair.
sure.
So yeah,
And
they're rehearsing without me.
And you have to do this, so you could blame it on me. You could say like I
It's
wanted to
okay.
rehearse, but
It's
Mike
okay.
messed it all up.
No, never, never, never. No, sometimes it happens. And they know the songs. I know. I'll commit. I'll be at home like playing them by myself, rehearsing like a loner and a loser. But
That's okay.
but no. But we try to be as tight as we can, and the thing that we are working right now is like choreographies on stage. You know, like now we wet bang together on this part, then you go to him because we have to. As much as it has to be fluid and spontaneous, you need to have a game plan, like, or else you're just going to be like in the same spot for 45 minutes or an hour playing shit and looking at a fretboard. So we're trying to take that next step and try to. We already move around, and I do a lot of faces, sometimes not good. I have some pictures like this, and it's weird because that's no metal. Come on, I have one like this. I was adjusting the microphone, and the fucking photographer took that picture and posted it on on the festival. And I'm like, man, why?
You probably took 100 pictures of you, but he posted that one, you know?
Why? Why? Just to mess with me. Just to mess with me. But yeah, I try. Like you notice, I speak a lot, so I try to do that as well. Especially when I get nervous, I start, but not too much because it gets kind of boring on stage.
Yeah.
I know that, but I think that we connect somehow to the audience, but we're trying to streamline it a little more. And since we're playing live, our album we haven't played since July. Well, the album complications, we decided to take a little break so we can focus on the release. Uh, we're trying to have like a next level show, so people that saw us on in July and see us now in November are like, okay, different bands, different phase, and they are
Yeah.
all in. That's what we want.
What changed stage presence for me, a buddy of mine and his wife wanted to go see Avatar. I don't know if you're familiar
Okay.
with them from
Yeah.
Sweden.
Yeah.
So he's a huge fan and they just came with In This Moment, which I don't know if you know them either.
No, no, I know.
I wasn't like, I'm not really a fan of either one. I like Avatar a lot, but I never really saw their stuff. And then I saw their stage presence, very choreographed. Um, like almost every movement on the stage is choreographed.
Mm,
And so I was like, wow, that really lent itself to be a nice show. And then I went to see a couple other shows after that with some bigger bands, maybe like 6, 7 people in the band, keyboardists, and they were on a tight stage. And I could see how having so many people not choreographed led itself to be more of like an awkward, they're
yeah,
bumping into each other and you
that's
can
the
see
thing.
like, I never would have thought, because you always think that guitarist is lost in the moment and like, you feel differently as a fan. He's probably thinking like I need to pick up milk after this on the way home. But
Sometimes.
yeah, and you're thinking like, man, that dude's lost in the song. And but like I really noticed how much a stage presence matters in like just the little details. Like if a band can work out those little details, it
Yeah.
elevates the stage that much.
To look more professional, yeah. And you touched on a really good point. For example, as we're five, and with the pianist, it's like a person with it's not a second drummer because it's not as big as a drummer. It's like a mini drummer, you know.
Yeah,
And on we've played on spaces that we had like to be 2 on 2, and then the pianist like playing outside of the stage because she couldn't fit in there, and we're like this. And if I did this, I would stab the guitarist. If I did this, I would stab the because I was playing with a V. I would stab the bass player,
yeah,
and yeah, having that kind of coordination done before and thought of before, it's good because of that. We already started doing this because now we're all playing with wireless, you know, and as soon as you get the wireless system on, you're like, woo, running around the fucking place
yeah.
and messing all up. But yeah, we still haven't crashed into each other. That's still bound to happen. It didn't happen up until now. But we wanted, and Ivo, our guitarist, is the one that wanted and told us like we need to do this because if you go see bands and we talked about Destroyers of All. yesterday. Destroyers of All have like a really tight show, you know. When they headbang together at the same time, and we I saw them Saturday live, and I don't know if they always do this because I don't remember seeing it, but this time, the stage had the subwoofers were in front of the stage and were big as hell, and the two guitarists and the bass player went on top of it, and they were like cutouts, you know, because all of the front was black and the lights were shining them on behind them, and they were like three cutouts. Like it was awesome. It was in the middle of a fucking Rager of the Rift, like it was perfect. It was and it was planned, of course. And that's those little things. You don't have to plan each and every step, like you said, for example, in Avatar. But if you have a general plan, it's easier for you to connect because if you show people professionalism and energy, they will give energy back and they
Yeah.
will remember your show for it. And better than just, you know, being up there rock and roll. And I love shoegaze, but there are if you're playing like groovy death metal and you're looking at your frontboard the entire time, I'm like, dude, bang your head, dude. Like jump around, come on, it's
Yeah.
brutal. Come on, make a an angry face at me. Come on, look at me in the eyes. Yeah,
That Doom
that's
and Stoner Fest, like it was Doom and Stoner metal I covered a couple weeks ago.
yeah.
And I showed up in like an Exodus t-shirt and everybody is like, what the fuck? And I
What are
like,
you doing here?
yeah, like everybody was just standing there, like casually like bobbing their head. I'm like, where's the pit? Nobody's stage diving. There's no like nobody's getting kicked in the face. Like it was a different experience for me.
Yeah. It's completely different, and that's it. You different people, different audiences. You have to play around with it. That's why Trauma is a good hit live, and for me, I thought not, but it's a doom for it's a banger for people like who like Doom, for example. They're like, Outlaw, it's fast. I don't understand. It's a fast song, but people are like,
Yeah, I
yeah,
still liked it, even though it wasn't like I wouldn't consider it Doom. I would still
yeah.
consider it, pretty. It still has a pretty good groove in it, you know.
Yeah. But people, I don't know, they stand around looking at us.
There's a lot of
But
groove. There's a lot of groove in
yeah,
your music.
it's fast. The riffs are fucking fast. I don't know.
Yeah, like for like having like black metal, thrash metal influence, there's a groove in it still, and
Yeah, awesome. Yeah,
the
all the
piano
time.
helps it out too. Really
Yeah,
artistic album, man. Well written.
thank you.
So I just
Sorry for rambling on because I'm always blah, blah,
it's all
blah.
right. We got 6 minutes left, so I'm gonna tell you when there's two, so we don't get cut off today.
All right,
But,
awesome.
I want you first to tell everybody because I hopefully a lot of people in Portugal see this interview. Let them know about your record release party. Who's playing, where it's at, where they can
All
see
right.
you.
All right. So we're playing on November 30th, and it's in Drac, Figueira da Foz, near Coimbra. You
I'm
know, a
so
lot of
glad. I'm glad you said it.
DRAC, Drac. It's a banger of a place. We've played there sometimes. They're like family to us. They're awesome dudes up there, always fighting the good fight for the underground. So
Yeah,
yeah, the album will be coming out November 29th, and we'll be doing a release party for the single from the Surface Grade Reimagined in November 15th in Taberna 58, the place where the band originated, to
okay.
have a little drinks and
Yeah.
to see the video clip, which is coming along. It's still not finished. I'm trying to finish it.
It's nice
But
to bring it full circle too and go back to
yeah.
the place you started, you know?
Yeah, that's the
Pretty
thing. That's the
cool.
thing. When I thought of when we started talking which singles to do, we thought Trauma would be because it's one of the oldest songs, and I think it's very different from Black Swan. It shows the other face of us. I think the other side of our song, really good. And then I thought, how about we do a little thing instead of showing a different song that anyone that nobody heard yet, and show the first single we ever recorded and put out, but in a new way. And at
Yeah.
first, you know, the first this first song, when it came out in 2020, it's like 100 BPM, I think. Originally it was 120. We slowed it down to 100, and now it's 140. So much faster.
Yeah.
Now I think it's awesome. I think it really gained a new level of meaning and powerfulness or power just.
I think the whole album's powerful. So whatever you play off of it, especially Thrall, that's my favorite. So
Yes,
I
it's
just
been a banger life as well.
yeah. So I'm really interested to see what the next couple years brings for you guys.
Thank
Like
you.
I'm real
I'll
excited. And like I
we'd
said,
always keep you posted. Every
yeah,
time we have something, we'll send it to you, my friend.
yeah, man, for sure. And if you have any friends, send them over too. Like I'm loving some Portuguese. I
Yes,
think
we
it
will.
all started with there was a band in Germany, Berlin, called Campa, and they knew some
Okay.
people over in Portugal. I think it was Shadowmare, and
Shadowmare, yeah, yeah, yeah.
so they put me in contact with Shadowmare, and I think their guy's name's George. And George was sending me a couple bands here, and then I started, and then I met Apocalypse Conspiracy, and Pedro's been helping me, and then
Yeah.
I think he was the guy who sent me you, and then and that's how I've been doing this whole thing. Just keep paying it
Awesome.
forward, and if I meet like a band and it works well, like hey, give me another band you're proud of, and that's
Yes,
how we can
of
build
course.
this scene.
Of course, and that's the thing that, like I said yesterday, if we have to pick each other up, if you elevate people around you, they'll elevate you as well. And that's the thing that, especially in the underground, you have to do it. If nobody can get out of this alone, so you have to try and help as much as you can without making like freebies all the time, because,
For
oh
sure.
yeah, help the underground, let's come do sound for free.
Yeah.
Work is work. So even if you pay bands like 50 euros, at least you're valuing their work.
Yeah, I
Better
agree.
to pay a little than pay nothing at all. I think
Right.
that people sometimes confuse helping with freebies.
Yeah.
And you're not helping the scene if you're not giving back a little. If they give you something, you have to try and give something in return, not only exposure.
Yeah.
If it is exposure, sometimes it's so underground, not even exposure it is. Yeah.
Sure.
So
Sure.
yeah, but this is a rant for another day.
Hey, that's all right. Well, we should do this again, man. I had a lot of fun
Yep.
yesterday, and I had a lot of fun today. Maybe we could do
Yeah.
like every couple months. We'll do like a what's happening in Portugal.
Yeah, we can do something like that, and we could have like guests and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
I
like you could
can.
maybe bring some of your Portuguese band friends on
Yeah,
or
that
whatever.
would be awesome. Yeah, that's
We could
something
think of
to
something,
think about.
man. And
That
I'm
would be
always
cool.
up for collabs and like anything new and exciting.
Yeah, you can do like a little trade-off, and I'll bring people from bands from here, and you'll bring some people from there as well, and then we do like a little,
Yeah,
and maybe someday we'll go up to the that point that you talked about, a little giant festival or something like that. Who knows?
yeah. I want to do a festival, but
Connections is
I've
all
only
that's all about.
But I've only been doing this thing for 10 months and it's far exceeded, like I said yesterday. It's way past where I thought it would ever be because like I have really low goals, but it's all working out. And I'm
That's
glad I can
awesome.
help you and all the other bands.
Thank you.
But
Stepping
anyway,
stones, man.
we're less
Little
than a
steps.
minute. We're less than a minute. So
Thank you so much, Mike. It
I
was
want to thank
awesome
you, man. It was awesome. I had so much fun yesterday, so much fun today, dude.
as
So
well, dude.
I'm
As
gonna
well.
send over a bunch of shit. Like the guy, I forgot to send you the lady on the piano or the guy who
Yes,
directed like.
yes.
So I'm gonna send those over as soon as I hang up,
Please.
and I'm gonna head out to Maiden.
I
So
will. Awesome.
thanks,
Go.
man.
Enjoy your show. Never been able to still to watch Maiden, but maybe one day. I hope.
Oh, they just released
So
a
enjoy
new
it.
world tour, so you always got a
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah,
Maybe,
they're coming here, but I didn't get the tickets. But maybe up until then I'll get it. Who
yeah.
knows? Enjoy your show,
Thanks.
dude. And thank you
Thanks
so
for
much for
everything.
everything.
Yeah,
Thank you
man.
so
You
much, my
too.
friend.